Hello everyone, have you heard about the Gary Stein and Stevens Show, an amazing podcast with sports stars, entertainment celebrities, and other great guests? Somebody, one host who has no legs, one host who lives in Duluth, Minnesota, and another host in Minnesota who can never be found. These guys get amazing guests and topics that no other show can provide, exclusively on your home TV and now the Roku app. That's the Gary Stein and Stevens Show. Check us out, America.
Welcome to Fenway! Woohoo! Have a great time. What a beautiful day. Go Sox.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Fenway Park, historic Fenway Park. I'm Dave Stevens, and we've got a very special Gary Stein and Stevens show as we wrap up the regular season. We've had some great coverage for you this season. Sorry to say the Minnesota Twins will not be in the postseason. Also the same for the Red Sox right here. It's a wild postseason. We are expecting the Yankees look like they're the team, and of course those Detroit Tigers, man, the way they overcame to get back into the postseason for the first time in 10 years. But this is an amazing edition of Gary Stein and Stevens. I'm in Cambridge right here at Fenway. You know, just across the street over there, I had the opportunity to be part of the All Wheels Up conference, which of course is putting wheelchairs on airplanes so you don't have to transfer. So we're going to show you what that conference was all about. Plus, we're going to take you behind the scenes here at Fenway as we take a group of amazing veterans getting the opportunity not only to see Fenway, but to sit in the dugout to watch the game. So you're watching Gary Stein and Stevens. Let's get you going with the tour.
Good to be back in old Fenway. I consider it my second home. Hey, hey, Red Sox, we're all here to lend you a hand. Go, go, Red Sox, the best doggone team in the land. Hey, hey, Red Sox, we're all here to lend you a hand. Go, go, Red Sox, the best doggone team in the land. The best doggone team in the land.
Thanks, Harry!
Well, it's salute to Harry's heroes, and I guess I have to talk to Harry about this. Harry, another great event that you put on for these amazing veterans who served for us. Why do you do it?
Just say thank you, Steve. Really, that is all I'm here to do. Give them a day away from and enjoy the best that America has to offer, which baseball is the game for America. So,
How did you come up with this idea? And it's a labor of love with both you and your wife.
for many years, my wife and I, we were involved in a lot of social activities, church activities, businesses overseas, India, Africa, South America, and went through so many, should I say, events in our life. Over there, the police would help us, certain people would help us, but there's nothing like America. There's nothing like coming home and enjoying the freedoms that we have here. Came close to not getting home a lot of times, but thank God for good people over there. But I know the great people here and what they give us for freedom and safety every day. And they pay a price to give that to us and afford us that opportunity to be free and safe Americans. And it's usually only about 6 to 8% of America serving that capacity. So 90-some% of us get to enjoy our freedom and the safety that this country affords us.
And of course, a big part of the tour is being up here at the Green Monster. And you know, it was in 1978 where Bucky Dent really put a dagger in the Boston Red Sox hearts as he hit this home run, a 3-run home run to give the Yankees a lead, and of course go on to advance to play in the World Series. A magic moment for Bucky Dent, and again, the Red Sox aren't in the postseason again this year, and the Yankees are as they make their quest for their 28th World Series. So we've given you a part of this tour. We're going to continue that, and of course coming up is, of course, the All Wheels Up Conference. You're watching Gary Stein and Stevens from Fenway Park. Stay tuned.
I'm Matthew.
I'm Melissa, and together we started Fresh Clean Threads.
For most of my life, I've worn a black t-shirt, and most were either too short, too baggy, or weren't consistent. Like most guys with a problem, I turned to my wife for help.
From our San Diego condo, using my years of apparel experience, we set out to make the world's best fitting t-shirt.
Since day one, our Fresh Clean tees were made to offer a flattering fit for all body types, be ridiculously soft and comfortable, and not break the bank.
And more than 1 million customers later, we still make every t-shirt with the same attention to detail as when we first started.
And what we've learned from selling so many t-shirts to people around the world is that while the perfect fit and feel are the starting point,
It all comes down to feeling confident and empowered to live each day fearlessly fresh.
unleash your confidence at freshcleanthreads.com.
Hi, this is Kathy Ireland. So excited to share with you today our incredible Kathy Ireland Nutrition Supplement Powders by Amoxi. We have a beautiful array of powders to help you live a happier, healthier lifestyle. Our focus is on bringing families a nutritious option to complement your daily routine. With Collagen Plus, you'll see improvements in your hair, nails, joints, and bones, as well as skin elasticity and hydration. Immunity Support uses our proprietary green blends, antioxidant powder, and digestive support fiber to give your immune system a powerful boost. Golden Oat Milk is dairy-free and uses a recipe of turmeric and ginger, coconut milk, and our mushroom blend to give you more of an energy boost without the crash of coffee. And with Super Greens, we have a probiotic and digestive enzyme blend along with fruits, veggies, and 9 types of greens to help support healthy gut. Please experience the difference of Amoxi supplements. Let's get healthier together. Thank you.
Well, welcome back to the Geary Stein and Stevens Show, and it's an amazing day. And I guess since I'm sitting next to a Red Sox fan like Ryan Landry, I should probably join him since we're here. But my buddy from Veterans Rally Point, who's really taken over the ability of the media class that we got going out there. And Ryan, what are your thoughts about today and this suite for Harry's Heroes?
It's an amazing experience. You know, it draws people together, that camaraderie that we see in the military of a day, an event like this. And it really helps the bonds, you know, with the brotherhood in the military now outside. And stuff like this with Warrior Bonfire, what they're doing, it really is helping the veteran community.
And it's like, you know, Christmas here. I'm watching their faces light up, even if they're not Red Sox fans. You know, Harry and his wife get them into areas that most people will only dream about being in.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing with Veterans Rally Point. We try to do that as well. You know, we try to take the teachings and what we've learned in the military, apply it into a community. You know, and I've always said that you can't have community without unity. And unifying people in different ways, going to events, getting out of, you know, maybe their comfort zone allows them to grow. And stuff like this is truly amazing.
All right, well, we're here for the duration. We'll have more interviews with some of the veterans and those experiences. I'm going to bring Ryan out of the way so I can't get back there. It's too crazy. But we are in the dugout, a very special Geary Stein and Stevens. All right, you want to go get some people for us?
Yeah, we'll go get some people.
All right.
How you doing? I'm Ryan Landry. I'm here with Kevin Brown. We're here at Fenway, and we're here with the Warrior Bonfire crew to build a little camaraderie.
Yeah.
Can you dive in a little bit of, you know, the Warrior Bonfire and how that camaraderie has helped veterans outside the military?
Right after I see if we're going to get hit by a foul ball. All right, we're good. We're all right. So the Warrior Bonfire program, I'll just start with the motto right off the top. The motto is, pain shared is pain divided, and joy shared is joy multiplied. And over about a 4-day period, these folks come in, 6 Purple Heart recipients at a time, about 30, 35 times a year. We conduct these retreats. And it's 6 guys who all share the fact that they each are owners of a Purple Heart medal. They've been wounded in combat. And they spend the weekend, you know, joy multiplied. Look at us. We're in the Jim Beam dugout at Fenway Park. But there are also poignant moments when they come together, share their stories, and then the whole weekend ends with a bonfire. That's where the name comes from. And around that bonfire, those 6 Purple Heart recipients properly retire a United States flag, strip at a time. And while they're doing that, they remember and reflect on brothers and sisters in arms that they lost at either the moment that they earned their Purple Heart or some other time across the course of their career. So it is the motto, full through and through, 4 days, intense. It's super tactical, tactile, and it's a great organization and a great program.
Yeah, and we've seen it across, being in the military myself and you as well, how that camaraderie and having those traditions and sticking with those ethos to be able to build that brotherhood again outside of the military, how important it is to carrying on.
Yeah, well, and it's magical, right? Because like I said, these 6 dudes or dudettes come together, not even potentially in most cases even knowing each other till they arrive at whatever inbound airport they come to, and by the time they leave at the end of those 4 days, it's like they knew each other forever. And that's that brotherhood, that collective experience that we have, that makes this so special.
Yeah. And I think the biggest...
I think the crowd liked our...
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think the biggest takeaway, we talk about brotherhood and everything else, it's that healing factor.
Amen.
And that healing factor allows us to continue and push that needle forward.
Yeah.
And, the next day and the next day and the next brother and the next sister.
Yeah.
And that healing factor of what they're doing in other organizations is so crucial to after the military.
Yeah. Well, that's what we do. And you know very well that not only are guys like you and I involved in Veterans Rally Point or in Warrior Bonfire Program, but we're involved with Veterans Rally Point, right? And this is an event and a location that people come to sort of on a recurring basis in different places all across the country. But you and I know that there's a brick and mortar location right there in Norwich called Veterans Rally Point that doesn't move, that we can have and encourage folks to come to and get all this same medicine that you and I are talking about.
Right. And it is crucial to have a staple, a location, a rally point, right? It's in the name, so everybody can have a location they know they can go to, and they have that extended family, and they have that facility to be able to heal and grow and find new connections. And we've learned over time of getting out of the military, those connections are just spread out more, and renewing those connections in a different way is crucial and important.
Yep, and healthy. This is all about producing healthy outcomes and taking folks that have been in a tough spot and bringing them into a good place.
Right, absolutely. Well, thank you very much.
All right,
let's get back to the ball game.
All right, spent a little time with Greg Stoll, former U.S. Army, and I put on the hat just so I didn't feel embarrassed here in the dugout. But man, you've got some cojones wearing a Yankees jersey in Fenway.
Hey, Yankee pride. We travel. We'll go anywhere.
Now, what does a day like today mean for you? I mean, just amazing. I watched you. It was like Christmas. You're walking behind the scenes. Your eyes are open, even though we're at Fenway. But such an amazing experience.
No, absolutely. And it's an opportunity with me and my fellow wounded warriors to come here, enjoy a great baseball game in one of the most historic ballparks in the history of baseball.
Now, what Harry and Donna do is so special, what they do to give back to you guys. I don't think we give back enough to our veterans, but it's got to be a satisfying feeling knowing that people really do care about you guys.
Oh, it's amazing because, especially with Harry and Donna giving us this opportunity, we get to feel appreciated. We feel that we're not forgotten, and that means the world to us.
And I know we're honoring you one day, but we should be honoring you guys every day. What's your philosophy about how we should be treating our veterans?
Just see them, thank them for their service. It was an honor to serve. We will all go back and do it again at the drop of a dime. But we are just really appreciative for any kind of acknowledgement that we get because we love our country and we love our community.
And it's a special day because what they talk about as an athlete, they miss that camaraderie. And I wonder if that's like for you guys in your unit and everybody that you served and some of those people that didn't come home.
It is because the camaraderie we have as service members, it's more than just surface deep. It's the history of the branch of service, the Army, Navy, Marines. We are all one people, and it's great to experience these great ball games with fellow veterans.
And you're talking about a great ballpark as we watch the Red Sox have the lead, but guess what? They're not in the postseason, the Yankees are. So what are your expectations for your guys?
Championship. Every year we expect championships. I want number 28. I want Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, and just Aaron Bleeping Boone to go ahead and come through and give us another championship.
And there's so many people here that are around here having fun, but what do you want to tell people about what it's like to be a veteran and when you come home?
We struggle sometimes. You can't always see all of our wounds, on the outside. A lot of the stuff is internal. So if you know a vet or you have an opportunity to help a vet, please do, because we're not the best at communicating what's wrong. And sometimes we need that community help to push us to get better.
All right, Dave, we're standing here with Tyler from the Red Sox Foundation, another great contributor to this overall Warrior Bonfire program and Sweet for Harry's Heroes effort to support our veterans. Tyler, if you could just tell us a couple things about the Red Sox Foundation in general, but then kind of hone in on the home base and that effort that's going on.
Of course. Well, thank you for having me today. The Red Sox Foundation was actually created in 2002 when John Henry, Tom Werner, Larry Lucchino, and their owners came in and decided they wanted to create something that would give back to the community in a more formal way. And so the foundation was created with the intention of making a difference in the lives of our communities, and that includes our veterans.
Right on.
Our key program where we support our veterans is through the home base program that was actually created under the leadership of Tom Werner in 2009 after he and several others visited the Walter Reed Medical Center in Washington, D.C. and decided that we needed to be doing more for our nation's heroes. And so the home base program was created. Since its creation in 2009, we've supported 35,000 veterans, and that's through the incredible clinical team over at MGH doing the work each and every day. The foundation's so proud to run an event called the Run to Home Base every year where folks can finish crossing home plate and raising critical dollars to support our nation's heroes.
Good stuff. Well, look, we're honored to have you here with us, and I think it's helpful for you that right here in this box are two warriors that have availed themselves of those services.
That's incredible.
We appreciate
That's incredible.
That. The fans are happy to hear it too.
Well, we're
right?
the ones that are so grateful for our nation's heroes and our veterans here today. So
thank you very much, Tyler.
Awesome.
All right, Dave.
It truly is an amazing day, and thank you to Harry and Donna for all they do for a Sweet for Harry's Heroes. A truly amazing experience for all of our wonderful veterans. And you know what? A couple of roads away from here, I was at the All Wheels Up conference. When we come back, I'm going to show you what that conference was all about, trying to put wheelchairs onto airplanes so we don't have to transfer. Stay with us. You're watching Geary, Stein, and Stevens having fun at Fenway Park.
1 in 4 Americans today are living with a disability. I'm one of them. I care deeply about creating a world we can all fully participate in, free from stigma, misperceptions, and barriers. And we've got a trusted ally on our side, an organization we can rely on, Easter Seals. Rooted in communities nationwide, Easter Seals helps empower millions of people, regardless of age or disability, through its life-changing services and powerful advocacy. Today and every day, Easter Seals is leading the way to full equity, inclusion, and access to healthcare, employment, and education for people with disabilities, families, and communities. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours.
Welcome back to the Geary, Stein, and Stevens Show from Fenway Park. And you know, I travel so much for the Geary, Stein, and Stevens Show and all the motivational speaking I do and all those things. But guess what? The airlines constantly destroy my wheelchairs. And that's where Michelle Irwin and All Wheels Up comes in. The initiative is to get transferable wheelchairs onto the planes and not have to get out of those wheelchairs. In fact, Michelle Irwin has really worked hard to get with Boeing and all of the other airlines to be able to figure out how we can get those wheelchairs on airplanes without having to transfer. And just a couple of weeks ago here in Cambridge, I had the opportunity to meet with some of the movers and shakers and figure out how we can make and improve airline travel for those with disabilities.
Hello again, everybody. Dave Stevens here, and I'm in Cambridge, Massachusetts at the 5th Annual Global Forum on Wheelchair Accessible Air Travel, brought to you by All Wheels Up. And that's the point of this global forum, is to bring together those great minds of the engineers and all those aerodynamic experts to talk to those of us in wheelchairs to see what our needs are for comfort and accessibility when transferring onto the airplanes.
It is every single person and every single organization that has come out for this event to be part of the conversation, whether it's the airlines, the OEMs, the airframers, advocacy groups, and the wheelchair users themselves. Honestly, you know, it is a collective effort, and that is the name of this event this year. It's Collaborate to Innovate, and it's going to take all of us.
Well, we are in an election year, so Michelle, are we better off than we were a year ago?
Listen, accessible air travel is a bipartisan, I'm going to kill you, is a bipartisan issue, and honestly, every single day we are moving towards a wheelchair spot on airplanes. I can definitely say that.
Where do we stand about getting chairs like yours on planes without the issues?
So I think we're a couple years out. I think FAA is scheduled to complete their research September of 25, so a year from now. It will take us about a year to go through the rulemaking process, and then we'll have a rule in place that it's going to require them, and then it's just a matter of getting them on the airplane at that point. So however long that takes.
It doesn't happen overnight, and I think some people get frustrated, but we're getting there. But what's a realistic timetable to get something like this done?
So assume that someone's got a current project in place, and it'll take a couple years to work through all the regulatory requirements, the certification forms to get that approved. But once they have approval for the installation, then you actually have to get it installed. So you think about just getting it installed, you all get it installed in one aircraft, but there's many aircraft out there. So it's going to take time to kind of have that percolate throughout the fleet. And think about the average lifespan of a cabin interior of an aircraft being somewhere around 10 years. So it'll be at that changeover, the turnover, they'll constantly be working to refresh those cabins and get these installations in there. So it might be, many years before you have that ability to go point to point to point with enough aircraft in the fleet that would have this capability. At the same time, I'm talking about the structural issues. We're still working through a lot of the operational issues, such as who's ultimately responsible for ensuring the proper attachment, onboarding, deplaning, and all of those other issues.
And you're in DC so much, I'm shocked you don't have your mail sent there. I mean, you were always out there advocating, working with all the various organizations, meeting with politicians. So what's next for All Wheels Up?
Absolutely. That's what it takes, right? You always want to make sure you're top of mind, and it does mean frequent travel to DC. And, our organization is going to continue our push for a center of excellence for accessible air travel. We do believe that accessible air travel needs funding and a sustainable source of funding to make that happen.
How important is what Michelle's doing to the world of the disabled community?
Michelle is doing amazing work in this space. She is what we would call, trying to find a nice way of saying it, but an S-stir. We need that in this space. We have been too passive for too long, waiting for things to happen, hoping that it will happen naturally. And it's already been proven that that doesn't work. We need people who are activists in this space, who are constantly moving the needle. And I'm one of them inside the corporate space for Boeing. And Michelle is an incredible one, an incredible advocate for this space. And we need more Michelles, not less.
Is there a light at the end of the tunnel here?
Well, I think in terms of the advocacy around a wheelchair space in the cabin, we're much farther along this year than last and the year before. Lots of companies are starting to get engaged in this work. Delta Flight Products and Collins Aerospace both have unveiled innovative new solutions to secure wheelchairs in the aircraft cabin within the last year.
And we're all trying to work together, but what do you find some of the biggest obstacles are to get everybody on the same page?
I think it's just so many stakeholders and it's so complex. You have these two different industries that each are some of the more complex industries in and of their own. Aviation and aerospace is really difficult to make anything happen. It's slow moving. And then how difficult the wheelchair industry is with innovation and all the different hurdles with Medicare. And so from my perspective, being able to understand the stakeholders in both parties and create a solution that actually works for each and isn't trying to just force each to comply. So think like, how do we actually get the wheelchairs certified and know that it is airworthy and meets the crash ratings? And how do we make sure that that wheelchair is something that is able to mount on the plane and be able to tie down properly and not have that disrupt the workflow of the boarding process? And that's something where I'm excited to see how we can support.
And I feel like it's almost just not a problem, but a communication issue. Saying, hey, we don't ask people to get on airplanes without their insulin pumps. We don't say, leave your eyeglasses at home. That machine that you need to breathe, that oxygen concentrator, yeah, don't take that. No, please take that, right? So I think people just need to learn to equate a wheelchair, which is a medically necessary physician prescribed device, with all those things. You can take your meds on your aircraft. You must take your meds on your aircraft. You must take your wheelchair, or at least aspects of your wheelchair seating, right? The pressure mapped seat for you to relieve pressure while you're in your chair. Okay, if you can't take the whole chair, can you at least take your seat so you don't develop pressure wounds? Can you at least take some sort of backing that allows you to be upright? Being upright is a big issue in people with high cervical injuries. Otherwise, they'll just slump over. You can't eat, you can't drink, and you can't look at people in the eye to communicate. So if you can just get people aligned in their chair comfortably and help them relieve the pressure while they're in that chair and stay aligned, that's going to be 2/3 of the battle.
I want to make it travel just safer for so many different families and people, because my experience, it's the same situation with Michelle's family. We haven't been on a family vacation in years, probably a decade, and I don't want people growing up with disabilities to be like that. There's so much we can contribute to the world, and travel really is a right that everyone has, and just so much of life requires you to be able to travel by airplane. Some people with disabilities were able to have good life and do many things without traveling, but it just holds us back so much. And just because we have disabilities doesn't mean that we don't have the same rights as everyone else.
How good does it feel personally to know that you're working on something that really is going to change generations for travel for the disabled world?
Well, it's really good because it really is an impactful statement. It's something to say, this is what I helped do. This is the people that I helped. Here's the generation of people who will now have access to these, to be able to fly and experience those things.
It's kind of sad to say, but I have empathy from my own personal experience of what other people are going through within the travel experience and their journey. To me, it is very painful for me to see that trauma happening to other people.
I think a lot of people just don't understand how fraught the accessible air travel experience is, and not really accessible. That's the problem. So, disabled people are facing a lot of challenges when they fly, not the least of which is damage to their mobility equipment. And we really see the wheelchair space in the cabin as the solution that can solve for a lot of the challenges that people are facing.
Unlike anything in our lives, we don't have to worry about going to the zoo and having our wheelchair break. We don't have to worry about going to Walmart and having our wheelchair break. But when we travel, we always have to think about the damage, and you're ending up writing prescriptions for chairs that are broken and stuff. So how do we fix that problem? Because a lot of people don't want to fly because they know that 50% of the time their wheelchair is going to get damaged.
Yeah, I think the airlines are our partners there. So the insurance companies are our partners in day-to-day, writing the wheelchair script. How do we talk about the words that matter to our partners? So I think we need to come to a mutual understanding about words that matter. So to insurance companies, it's danger, representing a safety issue. To me, it's improving function. To you, it's enabling my life, my occupation, my family, my travel, right? So yeah, I think we need a common language that we use with each other and understand, so that we can really know that our values are shared.
Is it feasible to get a wheelchair on airplanes? And we both testified, of course it is. It's not a matter of whether it's feasible, it's a matter of will, whether you want to or not. And so yesterday, to see all this coming together, see the FAA present their research, and then see the Delta seat and the other concept seats that are being developed and ready to go and put on airplanes, to see all this coming together at the same. And this conference and what Michelle has done has been such a big part of that, and all of you guys as well. All of your helping Michelle see her vision come true is really it's all very exciting and magical.
Being in a world that's not accessible, that's much tougher than dealing with a disability, because it's life could be worse with a disability, but it's if the world is accessible, that's great for us. Then it makes living with a disability less harder.
Absolutely. I don't think there's anybody who doesn't want to make this happen. I think the industry as a whole, is always knocked for maybe, the mistakes that have happened. But, when you look at the individuals who are here, they definitely want to move that needle forward and make wheelchair access possible. And there's other things that we're going to start working on, but, we're just going to actually have to have a post-meeting recap to, I think, see what that is.
Well, what you're doing is amazing. People are already reaching out to me on social media. I just had a friend, and I'm going to show you after this, that I didn't know about this. How can I get involved? I have difficulties traveling, and I think the outside world with people without disabilities don't know what our struggles are. So thank you so much for what you're doing. And if you want more information, well, you should visit allwheelsup.org. We are a nonprofit, and we really could use your help. And what would you like to see done in the next 10 years?
Well, of course, we want a wheelchair spot on airplanes, but, first and foremost, we really need to raise awareness for the need. And so follow us on social media and support National Accessible Air Travel Day. And
August 20th.
That's right, August 20th. Thank you very much. And keep supporting our work.
All right. Thanks, Michelle. Continue to watch us and follow us on all social media platforms.
Thank you.
Accessible air travel. So another great effort by Michelle Irwin and everyone at All Wheels Up for that amazing conference. And we are just a few years away from getting wheelchairs on airlines without having to transfer. And that's going to do it here from Fenway Park. What an amazing day. Of course, hanging out with a suite for Harry's Heroes, such a great organization. Thank you, Harry and Donna Bell. For more information, call 302-268-2276 and say, hey, I'd like to donate and get involved. So that's going to do it here from Fenway Park. Yeah, the Red Sox are not in the postseason. We'll continue to update as we try to cover the postseason. Wherever Troy is, he's on his way to London for next week's game against the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be in Dallas playing in the Celebrity Softball Classic, so continue to follow us on all social media platforms and wherever you guys can watch the Gary Stein and Stevens Show. So we'll see you guys later.
Thank you for tuning in to the Gary Stein and Stevens Show. Follow us on social media. Watch us on yourhometv.com, or now we're on Roku. Download it and watch us. And thanks for tuning in. Until next time, America.